Gentlemen, if you haven't experienced a strong, confident erection in months or even years, I want you to listen closely, because what I'm about to share might change everything you thought you knew about aging and intimacy. I'm Dr. Adriana, and I specialize in senior health, with a focus on helping men over 60 reclaim what they thought was gone forever. In my years of practice, I've sat across from hundreds of men who came to me embarrassed, frustrated, and convinced their best days were behind them. But here's what I've learned. It's rarely about age alone. In fact, for most men, the real culprit is something we can actually address: poor circulation. What if I told you that 4 simple fruits, things you can find in any grocery store, have helped my patients restore blood flow, revive intimacy, and feel decades younger? No pills, no injections, no complicated treatments, just real food working with your body the way nature intended. Stay with me because I'm going to walk you through each of these fruits, share real patient stories, explain the science, and give you a complete roadmap for bringing vitality back into your life. And one of these fruits works so fast, some men notice changes within 30 minutes. Before we dive deep into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss crucial health information designed specifically for seniors. If you're ready to take control of your health and your confidence, type 1 in the comments. If you're skeptical, type 0. Either way, I want to hear from you because your feedback helps me create better content for this community. Now let me start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why do erections get weaker after 60? Most doctors will tell you it's just part of getting older, but that's only half the story. What's really happening inside your body is a gradual narrowing and stiffening of blood vessels, especially the tiny arteries that supply blood to the penis. These vessels are some of the smallest in your entire body, which means they're often the first to show signs of trouble. When they become clogged or lose their flexibility, blood can't rush in the way it needs to for a firm, lasting erection. Without blood flow, there's no firmness, no sensation, and no performance. Here's the part most men don't realize. Those same circulation problems that affect your intimacy are early warning signs of bigger issues. Your body is trying to tell you something. Long before a heart attack or stroke, your sexual function starts declining. That's why I always tell my patients, when you address circulation, you're not just improving your sex life, you're protecting your heart, your brain, and your overall longevity. But here's the hopeful truth. Poor circulation isn't a life sentence. It can be improved, sometimes dramatically, through simple changes in what you eat and how you live. And that brings me to the 4 fruits that have transformed the lives of so many men I've worked with. Let me start with pomegranate, a fruit I often call nature's circulation miracle. I'll never forget a patient named Robert, a 66-year-old mechanic who came to my office looking defeated. He'd been divorced for 5 years and had finally started dating again, but he was terrified because he hadn't had a strong erection in nearly 3 years. He'd tried some medications, but they gave him headaches and made his heart race. He didn't want pills. He wanted to feel like himself again naturally. I recommended he start drinking 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice every single day, preferably in the morning. He looked at me like I was crazy, but I explained the science. Pomegranate is loaded with powerful antioxidants, especially one called punicalagin, which has been shown in multiple studies to boost nitric oxide levels in the body. Nitric oxide is absolutely critical because it signals your blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing more blood to flow freely. When blood flow improves to the penis, everything changes: firmness, sensitivity, duration, and confidence. Robert committed to the routine. Within 2 weeks, he called me, excited and a little emotional. He told me he'd woken up with morning erections for the first time in years. By week 4, he reported that intimacy with his new partner was not only possible, but actually enjoyable again. But what really struck me was what he said at his follow-up appointment. "Dr. Adriana, I feel like I got a piece of myself back. I didn't realize how much I'd lost until it came back." That's the power of pomegranate. It doesn't just help with performance. It reduces inflammation throughout the body, supports prostate health, and protects cardiovascular function. One study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research found that men who drank pomegranate juice daily for several weeks showed measurable improvements in erectile function compared to those who didn't. You can drink it as juice, eat the seeds fresh, blend it into smoothies, or even add it to salads. The key is consistency. Now, while pomegranate is powerful, the second fruit I want to talk about works differently and sometimes even faster. Let me tell you about watermelon. A few years ago, I was visiting family during a hot summer, and my uncle, who was 72 at the time, brought out a huge platter of chilled watermelon after we'd been working outside. As we sat there enjoying it, he said something that stuck with me. "You know, this stuff always made me feel strong." I smiled. But later that night, I started researching, and what I found was remarkable. Watermelon contains high levels of an amino acid called L-citrulline, especially concentrated in the white rind near the red flesh. Your body takes that L-citrulline and converts it into L-arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide production. It's essentially the same pathway that many erectile dysfunction medications target, but it's completely natural and comes with hydration, vitamins, and minerals your body needs. I had a patient named James, a 71-year-old retired postal worker, who was struggling not just with weak erections but also with low energy and poor sleep. His wife had mentioned that he seemed distant and uninterested, which was breaking her heart. I suggested he eat a large bowl of fresh watermelon every evening after dinner, about an hour before bed. He thought it was strange advice, but he trusted me. Within 10 days, James reported feeling more energized during the day. Within 3 weeks, he noticed that he was waking up with firmness he hadn't felt in years. But the real breakthrough came when he told me that he and his wife had reconnected intimately for the first time in over a year. He said it wasn't just physical, it brought back a sense of closeness and joy they'd been missing. His wife even called my office to thank me, saying, "You gave me my husband back." Studies have shown that men who supplement with L-citrulline, either through watermelon or concentrated supplements, experience improved erection hardness and duration. But I always recommend getting it from real food because watermelon also provides hydration, electrolytes, and antioxidants that support overall vascular health. The best part? It's delicious, refreshing, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Now let's talk about the third fruit, one that most people eat casually, but never realize how powerful it is for male health: black grapes. I want to share the story of Mr. Patel, a 73-year-old retired accountant who'd been married for over 50 years. He came to me not specifically for erectile issues, but because he felt tired all the time, moody, and disconnected from his wife. He thought maybe his testosterone was low, and while we did check his levels, they were actually within normal range for his age. What struck me during our conversation was how much he missed feeling alive. He described feeling like a shell of who he used to be. I recommended a simple addition to his diet: 1 cup of black grapes every afternoon as a snack. He was skeptical, but agreed to try it. Black grapes, particularly the dark purple or black varieties, are rich in a compound called resveratrol. This antioxidant has been extensively studied for its effects on cardiovascular health, but it also does something remarkable for men. It helps protect and support testosterone levels while improving blood vessel function. Resveratrol reduces oxidative stress, which is one of the hidden culprits behind inflammation, poor circulation, and hormonal decline. It also helps relax the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow freely. Mr. Patel started eating black grapes every day, sometimes fresh, sometimes frozen. Within 3 weeks, his energy improved noticeably. His wife commented that he seemed happier and more engaged. But the real change came after about 5 weeks when he came back for a follow-up. He smiled and said, "Dr. Adriana, I didn't want to get my hopes up, but things are working again. My wife and we're close again." He teared up a little as he spoke, and so did I. It's moments like these that remind me why I do this work. Food isn't just fuel, it's medicine, and when used correctly, it can restore not just physical function, but emotional connection and quality of life. Research supports this. Studies have shown that resveratrol can improve endothelial function, reduce arterial stiffness, and even support healthy testosterone metabolism. The best part? Black grapes are affordable, easy to find, and you can eat them fresh, frozen, or even as organic grape juice if you prefer. Now, the fourth fruit might surprise you because it's something most of you probably have in your kitchen right now. Citrus fruits. I'm talking about oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and limes. These aren't just for vitamin C. They contain powerful compounds called flavonoids, particularly one called hesperidin, which has profound effects on vascular health. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 68-year-old veteran who kept meticulous notes about everything he ate and how he felt. When he came to see me, he was frustrated because despite eating relatively healthy and staying active, his erections had become unreliable and weak. As we reviewed his diet together, I noticed he drank fresh squeezed orange juice every morning, a habit his mother had taught him as a child. I told him to keep doing that and to add half a grapefruit with breakfast and lemon water throughout the day. Citrus fruits work by strengthening the walls of your blood vessels and improving what's called endothelial function. That's the ability of your arteries to expand and contract properly. When your vessels are flexible and strong, blood flows more efficiently to every part of your body, including the penis. Hesperidin also reduces inflammation and helps manage blood pressure, both critical factors for men over 60. Thomas stuck with it, and over the next 6 weeks, he reported gradual but steady improvement. His erections became more reliable, his energy stabilized, and he even noticed that his morning walks felt easier. He told me, "It's like my whole circulatory system woke up." That's exactly what happens when you give your body the right tools. One study found that men who consumed citrus flavonoids regularly had a significantly lower risk of erectile dysfunction compared to those who didn't. Another study showed that hesperidin improved arterial flexibility in older adults. These aren't miracle cures, but they're powerful natural tools that work when used consistently. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about something crucial. These fruits work best when combined with the right lifestyle habits. I've seen men eat all the right foods but continue struggling because other parts of their lifestyle were working against them. Let me share what makes the biggest difference. First, movement. I can't stress this enough. Walking is one of the most powerful things you can do for circulation. I had a patient named Carl, 69 years old, who started eating pomegranate and watermelon daily, but didn't see much improvement at first. When I asked about his activity level, he admitted he spent most of the day sitting. I challenged him to walk for just 20 minutes after breakfast, and another 20 minutes after dinner. Within 2 weeks of adding those walks, his results transformed. Walking increases blood flow, strengthens your heart, reduces arterial stiffness, and even boosts mood and energy. You don't need a gym, just put on comfortable shoes and move. Second, hydration. Most men over 60 are chronically dehydrated and don't even realize it. Blood is about 90% water, so when you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and circulation suffers. I recommend drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, another mid-morning, one with lunch, one mid-afternoon, and one with dinner. If you're eating watermelon and citrus, you're already getting extra hydration. But don't rely on food alone. Third, sleep. This is where testosterone production, vascular repair, and hormonal balance all happen. I had a patient named Raymond, 74, who was doing everything right with his diet, but still felt exhausted and had weak erections. When I asked about his sleep, he admitted he woke up 5 or 6 times a night and snored loudly. We arranged a sleep study and he was diagnosed with sleep apnea. Once he started using a CPAP machine, everything changed. His energy returned, his mood improved, and yes, his erections became stronger and more consistent. If you're not sleeping well, talk to your doctor. It could be the missing piece. Fourth, avoid foods that damage your arteries. Fried foods, processed meats like bacon and sausage, excessive salt, and too much alcohol all contribute to inflammation and arterial damage. I'm not saying you can never enjoy these things, But if you're eating them daily, they're undermining all the good work the fruits are doing. One patient of mine, Steven, 70, cut out his daily fast food habit and replaced it with grilled chicken, vegetables, and the fruits I recommended. Within a month, he said he felt 10 years younger. Let me also address a question I get all the time. How long does it take to see results? The honest answer is, it varies. Some men, like Robert with pomegranate, notice changes within 2 weeks. Others, like Thomas with citrus, take 4 to 6 weeks. Watermelon can work quickly. Some men feel increased firmness within days, but lasting results require consistency. Black grapes tend to work gradually, building benefits over weeks. The key is patience and commitment. Your body didn't develop these circulation problems overnight, and it won't reverse them overnight either. But with time, the changes can be profound. I also want to address the emotional side of this because I know for many of you, this isn't just about physical function. Losing the ability to perform intimately can feel like losing part of your identity. It affects your confidence, your relationships, and your sense of self-worth. I've had men sit in my office and cry, not because they're weak, but because they're human and they're hurting. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing these natural solutions. Because they work, and because they give men back not just their function, but their dignity and their hope. Let me tell you about one more patient, a man named George, 77 years old. He'd been widowed for 3 years and had started a new relationship at his church. He was terrified because he hadn't been intimate with anyone in years and didn't think his body could perform anymore. He came to me almost in tears, saying, "I don't want to disappoint her." I put him on all 4 fruits, pomegranate juice in the morning, watermelon at night, black grapes as a snack, and citrus throughout the day. I also had him walk daily and drink more water. 8 weeks later, George came back smiling. He told me that not only had intimacy been possible, but it had been beautiful and meaningful. He said, "Dr. Adriana, you didn't just help my body, you helped my heart." That's what this is really about. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and refusing to let age define what's possible for you. So here's what I want you to do starting today. Pick one of these fruits and add it to your routine. Maybe it's a glass of pomegranate juice with breakfast. Maybe it's watermelon after dinner. Maybe it's a handful of black grapes in the afternoon, or an orange with your lunch. Start small, stay consistent, and give your body time to respond. Add a daily walk, drink more water, prioritize sleep, and cut back on foods that clog your arteries. These aren't huge changes, but together, they create a foundation for real, lasting improvement. If you found this information valuable, please like this video. It helps more men discover this life-changing message. Share it with someone who needs it. Leave a comment below telling me which fruit you're going to try first. And subscribe for more senior health advice. If you'd like to support this channel so I can keep creating content that empowers you, there's a link in the description. Every bit of support helps. Remember, you're not too old, it's not too late, and you haven't lost your chance. The moment you decide to take control of your circulation is the moment everything starts changing. Your comeback begins today. One fruit, one walk, one choice at a time. Thank you for trusting me with your health. Now go take action.